Welcome back to our 30-minute intermediate golf workout. For this workout, now that we have a little bit more mobility unlocked, we're gonna start challenging that more and building a lot more strength to help us out in our swing and be able to maintain our balance better. First movement that we're gonna be starting off with is going to be some split squat holds. So for this, we're gonna start off in a large lunge position. From here, we're gonna take that back knee, and as we drive it to the ground, we're gonna work on pulling the shoulders backwards. It's gonna help open up the hip of that back leg. And we're gonna hold here anywhere from about 15 seconds to 1 minute. Again, working on loading up that back foot as much as possible. One thing that I want you focusing on for this movement is making sure that as we lower ourselves down to the ground, we're working on pulling those shoulders back, so that way we're moving like an elevator straight up and down, rather than an escalator, where we are driving the body forwards. We're gonna repeat that movement twice on either side, again, holding as long as possible, having the cutoff at 1:30. From here, the next movement that we're gonna get into is gonna be our lateral lunge. So this is where we're gonna get a lot of stretching as well as a little bit more strength development around the hips. So we're gonna take a stance that's ideally double our drive stance. So it's gonna be pretty wide. From here, we're gonna keep that chest nice and tall as we sink our butt down towards the ground. And from here, we're gonna shift all of our weight onto 1 foot at a time, pivoting on the heel, picking the toes up of the other leg. We should be getting a really big stretch on the inside of the thigh, and then we're gonna pivot back onto the other side. Offloading one leg at a time, ideally keeping the hips as low as possible as we shift from one side to the other. From here, we're gonna repeat this movement for 16 reps, and we're gonna go for 2 sets. Next movement that we're gonna work on is gonna be a B stance RDL. So for this movement, whatever leg we have forward, we're gonna have the weight in the opposite hand. That way it's on the inside of the leg. The main muscle groups that we're working on for this movement are gonna be your hamstrings and a little bit of glutes. So from here, what we're gonna do is we're gonna start with both feet together. We're gonna take 1 foot, we're gonna pivot on the heels, 90 degrees, and then we're gonna pivot on the toes, 90 degrees. That's gonna help us find our stance for this next exercise. From here, we're gonna start by pushing our hips towards the back of the room, keeping both hands at the same height. We're gonna allow our chest to fall down towards the ground as the hips push back. We're looking for that big stretch in the hamstring, and then we're driving the hips forward, coming right back up again. We're gonna aim for about 12 reps on either side with this movement, repeating for 3 sets. Next movement that we're gonna get into is gonna be a Pallof rotation. From here, what we're gonna do is set up a band around the bottom of our rib cage attached to a post. We're gonna grab on with the outside hand first, then the inside hand. For this movement, we're looking to have the hips rotate separately from the shoulders. So we're gonna start by taking 1 big step away, get some tension on that band. Hands are gonna start in front of us. From here, we're looking to rotate out and have the hips straight forward through the entire movement. We're gonna come back to that center line, rotating out again. We're gonna repeat this movement for about 15 reps, either side, for 2 sets. From here, we're gonna move on to our next movement, which is gonna be banded face pulls. So for this, we can take that light band, grabbing onto either end of it now. We're gonna take 1 big step away from the rig. We're gonna start this movement by keeping the shoulders down away from the ears, keeping the chest proud, and then we're gonna drive the hands next to our temples for a 1 second pause and come back forward again. For this exercise, we're gonna repeat it anywhere from about 10 to 15 reps with that 1 second pause at the end of every rep, and we're gonna do it for about 2 to 3 sets. The last movement that we have for this workout is going to be a farmer's carry. So as we're carrying a relatively heavy weight, could be a dumbbell, sandbag, anything of your choosing, we're gonna keep the hands at the same height, keeping the shoulders level, and keeping that core braced the entire time. It's gonna help us work on creating full body tension. So from here, we're just gonna start walking. Again, keeping both hands at the same height the entire time. Ideally, we're going to continue with this movement until either your grip strength or your core start to give out.